My next session, ladies and gentlemen, is going to be about innovative marketing trends in TV business. Of course, marketing trends keep evolving. Times change, that's how we evolve and that's how we get better. So what are the exact innovative marketing trends that we are looking forward to in today's time in the TV business arena is something that we are going to be discussing and deliberating, ladies and gentlemen. I have some stellar speakers joining me over here for this session. This is about innovative marketing trends in TV business. May I please have on stage Mr. Tarandeep Singh Sekhon, Chief Business Officer from KidZania, India, to please kindly come up on stage and moderate this session for all of us. Clap it up for Mr. Sekhon, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much. My next speaker over here is Janardan Pandey, founder, Net Value Media and director, Metier Media. A big round of applause for Mr. Pandey. Thank you so much, sir. Once again, happy to see you. My next speaker over here is Sanat Mishra, who's the managing partner of Dazzle Consultancy, please. Thank you so much, Mr. Mishra, for joining us. I would now like to call upon stage Sonali Singh, who's the head of marketing at Switch Mobility. A big round of applause for Miss. She's running late? Okay, I believe she'll be joining us in the session midway then. So my next speaker over here, ladies and gentlemen, is Manoj Gupta, who's the head branding and communication NBC Bearings CKA Birla Group. Thank you so much, Mr. Gupta, for joining us. Once again, happy to have you on stage. And my next speaker over here, before I call him, I think it's only fair if we play a bit of an audio visual because his work is related to that. So I'm sure rather than me talking, that would help. Ladies and gentlemen, you talk about AI, you talk about creativity, you have everything. One-stop solution, basically, to cut things short. From White Apple Studios, the Honorable Managing Director and Founder, Mr. Rajeev Rastogi. Can we please have you on stage? Thank you so much. आग लगा रहे हो आप हर जगह पे, हाँ? Literally in work and also in the videos. क्या बात है? Clap it up for Mr. Rastogi, please. And we have the timer ready, and over to you, Mr. Sekhon.
Thank you so much. Warm afternoon again to all of you. I know this is the last session, so it becomes a bit boring for some. We'll keep it quick. Okay, it is the second last session. We'll keep it quick, and luckily, I was part of the earlier sessions where we've learned a lot about how content matters in television. What we'll try to decode is, we have a fab list of experts with us. The best part sitting here today is that they come from a mix of industries. So what we have here are different lenses. So when I was told to chair this panel discussion, so we have someone from manufacturing. We have somebody who comes with the lens of creative storytelling, which we just saw. Then we have someone who specializes in media. And then there is someone who specializes in building brands and is also a consultant. So the idea is to keep this session a lot of crisscross. I want to keep it engaging and just understand your views on how television is evolving. my two bits on it is, of course, everybody understands today television is no more a single broadcast media. You know, it is connected, there is data centered, and of course, with the influence of AI and digital ecosystems, it has evolved. What we will try to do is, from the brands per se, how are they playing with the balancing scale? So typically brands, so I have been a brand custodian all my life. We try to see now how we can balance scale with precision, creativity, how we can optimize it to the best extent. And everybody talks about TV from the trust point. But at the same time, हमें एक ही question पूछा जाता है is on the performance side. So please share your views on how do you see this genre evolving. So my opening question is simple. Okay, I don't want to get into why TV is important. We all know it is here to stay. What I would like to understand from your individual lenses is how it has evolved. So we'll start with the business side. So you specialize in B2B. Of course, in B2B section, we look at TV as the most trusting factor, which we were speaking about, and how it builds brand, it creates credibility. But do you think it is just about building the brand, or how do you equate it with performance?
Taran, you rightly said that TV is going to flourish for a long time and it's not going to end anywhere. And we have seen TV evolving from a box with a shutter when we used to wait for the program to start when TV started in India. And it was only 3-4 hours program we used to see. And today we are TV on demand. You just switch the channel, you get a content. The evolvement, the transformation has happened so fast and it's evolving every day. And whatever we see that we do as a brand custodian, we want to see how our brands are reaching to the audience and making impact to the brand. That's more important than anything else. We are not concerned about media, TV hai, OTT hai, digital hai, but we want to see our brand to grow. And TV has done a wonderful job in building credibility and building reach in no time. That's my take for this as of now.
So that's interesting, you know. So you're talking about, you know, cross-pollination of platforms. So my follow-up question again, you know, this I think Janardan and Sanat, you could help us with this. Now TV, do you think it is considered only for a typical brand launch, or it can be used for further factions? And also, being again a media and consultant, your area of specialty, what are the true metrics today through which you look at, you know, the success of TV? So if you could share how the transition has been in cross platforms and what are the metrics?
So, Taran, I mean, there is a say in Sanskrit, yatha bijam tatha phalam. What does it mean? It means that jaisa phal, jaisa bij, vaisa phal. Now, TV is that seed, and performance marketing and digital is the fruit. Now, TV creates demand, and performance marketing and digital captures, harvests that demand. Now, throughout my life, throughout my career, I will share one of the case studies. And what has happened, I can take the name of the brand, ITC. They were like flourishing with the GRPs kind of thing, pan-India. Okay. One market they chose, they said like, you know, this is a market we will try out with the digital campaign. Now suddenly what has happened, the share of voice went down. What has happened? Now share of voice, the moment, because as I said, if there is no demand, digital cannot harvest, correct? And immediately, within a quarter, it has impacted their sales. So TV has a power because it creates demand, and then, as you said, like both. So smart marketeer, they use both. It's not one or another kind of thing. It is a combination of both. Now, Kantar research says that if you're combining TV and digital together, your incremental reach is around 12%. The share of voice is 12%. And these are the insights, most of the marketeer, they are aware of that. Now, it is all about how you're using the data and how you're implementing the data into your life. That is very, very important. And TV is going to stay. TV, now, whether it's a linear TV or connected TV, that debate is different. But TV is going to stay. And the smart marketeer, they are using both.
Hi, good afternoon. So, very well said by Mr. Sanat. Uh, see, what at the end, what I want to start saying this, see, technology is a great equalizer. So today, what is the difference between a television and iPad or a mobile phone? TV cannot be carried along with us in our pockets. And second one, we cannot make personal calls from the television. Rest, everything is there embedded in the television set. So, and as a brand builders and we promote product and services, we buy audiences. And TV is a mammoth media which is offering connectivity, reach to the 80 crore plus individuals. So this debate is not between digital and, so it's a television is a digital media. The screen is the same. Only thing I said, we cannot carry it wherever we want, and it's not a personal device. It's known to be a family platform. So, but certain things, you see, last 25 years has been dominated by television. It is fairly measured medium where we know that where the viewership is, who all are watching and everything. I don't want to get into, naysaying, but television is evolved a lot. It is still the most dependable medium for launching any brand. Okay. Now, digital is why it's catching up because, see, to come on a television, you need a lot of money. On digital, you can spend less, but you will get less also. If you want to target some, 7, 8, 10 states using social media or YouTube or any other platform, you have to spend a lot of money. So nothing is cheap. We feel that because geo-targeting on digital is easier. So we feel that, and we all are like digital marketeers. So it's a common perception that digital is going to eat away television. It's not so. The audience is there on the digital, on the TV. Now it's up to the brand custodians from where they want to get to their audience and what kind of communication want to do. Only difference is that via digital, we can do more performance like sales-oriented activity. On television, is more of a branding. But again, I'm saying that branding is as important for the performance as the performance is itself for the revenues. Okay.
So this leads to Rajeev. When I look at you, okay, you've been in this space since over 2 decades. Now they just spoke about, how there is a very thin line today between what you create for television or what you create for other digital platforms. So what is your take? How is storytelling involved? So for example, if I come to you as a brand, so do you make just one content piece and then, again, please pardon me, is it just chopped for digital platforms or there is a complete, different mindset of what you're creating for TV versus what you're creating for digital? How has the storytelling evolved there?
So definitely what happens is that there is a difference in the mindset, for sure. And it is not because the people do not want to do the stuff, it's also because how the economics are related to everything. When you do a storytelling for any kind of a subject, we've seen, it's now 40 years that I've seen how the television has evolved. Digital space has now evolved. There is a change in the narrative, the way you say the things. But in terms of story, how they are getting curated now, economics will define whether it has to be for digital medium, straight chop off to TV, or go to theatricals. The new medium, which is more of a digital, television is now giving you everything what you want, right? Whether you look at Amazon or Netflix or Sony or any kind of a stuff, it's all there in television, it's evolving with that. So any kind of a story that you want to tell, I don't think so that it's restricted to only one medium now.
Understood. So, you're talking about making something which works across all platforms.
Yes.
Anecdote for us was, when we were earlier looking at making TVCs, the typical TVCs, I remember the budgets used to be in even excess of crore. Versus our last TVC we made, within few lakhs. And it all came with the objective of we wanted to create something which can go across digital formats.
So another format, if you see right now evolving, is a microdrama format. Most of the microdramas that are getting shot, earlier when people were experimenting, it was all vertical format. It came all of a sudden that vertical. Now when they are getting shot, it's also with dual camera, shoot it horizontal also, shoot it vertical also. So again, the same thing. So the content is not changing. The mediums of displaying is evolving. So you have to show it to television audience, you have to show it to digital audience, you have to show it to the mobile audience. The story is same. It's just the mediums that are changing.
So, again, my follow-up question from a media perspective. We spoke about hybrid cross-pollination. So, Janardan, specifically from you, I would like to understand, सुनने में अच्छा लगता है, hybrid models. So, beyond theory, what can brand marketers do, to create a mindful campaign which goes across television and digital? Are there any basic do's and don'ts? And then there is another term, which is thrown around is dynamic content optimization. So of course they go hand in hand, but if I would request three of you, you being on the brand side, and how you think, dynamic content optimization in practice, if there are any tips or are there any best do's and don'ts which we as marketers could follow?
So on this, see, basically, as I said earlier, and I just want to touch upon a point about the content. I feel personally that why it is always costing more to produce a TVC and less money when we do a digital film is because the television has evolved, it's become so prestigious, magnanimous. The brands are conscious that, at one point of time, crores of people are going to watch me, what I'm sending out in the market. So obviously, when you're conscious, when you want to be seen as best, you invest time, money, bandwidth, everything. In digital, so far it's taken like an individual medium, which is changing, which should change now. See, I always say that YouTube is the biggest television network of the world. Okay. So now that is where the hybrid model will come in. Any client, and since we are a very populous country, we have different languages, we have thousands of dialects, okay, taste and preferences, like those who are those who know that earlier the media planning was done by socio-cultural region, SCRs, like Malwa, Bundelkhand, Marathwada, Vidarbha, because they have similar kind of, so we have a diverse culture, diverse, different kind of languages, food preferences and everything. So it is always up to the brand, and every brand will have certain markets which are going to be most important for them, certain market that they want to capture. So it's actually there is a more option for the brands today to mix television and top up with the digital, or to have a digital media as a base platform and top up with the television. So like earlier it was between print and television, there was a cross media like campaigns used to do, like we knew that certain areas will be served by the print, certain areas will be only served by the television. Like, see, print, the basic thing was that one has to be literate, one has to know the language, one has to be English speaking, readability also, because if you don't know English, you cannot be reached by Times of India. But in television equalized, I said, the technology is a great equalizer. These barriers went away, so you could target more people, there were more audiences. So likewise, for the brands, as I said, we buy audience. So it is a bigger opportunity, better, more options are available. So you look at and do the math, and you go and mix the television with the digital. I think that's the best way to do. Okay.
Understood. So let's understand from you, Manoj. So again, you come from the B2B space. We were chatting about, of course, B2B budgets versus a typical FMCG budget. So how do you go about doing these hybrid integrations in practice?
So we have two approach on this. When we are going for a national launch of anything, so we target the TV program first. And for regional vernaculars, we go with Tamil Nadu with different language, different tone, because every state has its own characteristics. So we follow that characteristics and design our media planning and content according to that audience. Because we believe that when you have a heart share, mind share will already come, because every content should be have a emotional connect, because you're dealing with human being, be it the FMCG company or any brand, but you're dealing with human people. So you have to connect with the people in that way, content that it should connect with the emotionally, and regionally functional things can come later. As a brand custodian, I always see that we should always target on the emotional connect and relatable stories which can connect with the brand and make the brand lovable. Otherwise, it won't be possible to get the brand on a mind share than heart share. And we talk about this content dynamism. You talk about how different it should be. We want that it should be influencer based, because influencer plays a very vital role in today's dynamics, and they will play a very vital role in regional markets. Because you cannot have any sports person who is very good in Tamil Nadu is not known in Punjab. So we have to see local influencer included in that. Our media planning has in such a way that we cater to mechanics and to the CXOs of the companies like Tata, Mahindra, and Maruti. So we have very diverse audience base. So we have to keep our content very relevant, very direct to the customer's audience. That is very important for us.
So Rajeev, I would like to understand, we have this shrinking attention economy. You know, even the earlier sessions were talking about 10-second, 15-second micro reels, pehle 3 second mein jo impact karna hai kar lo. So how does that affect, you know, when you're planning content for a brand? So how do you go about navigating that in today's scenario and getting the message out? Because everybody is looking at micro content. So how do you still create resonance, emotional depth?
So again, the power of storytelling. Emotions can never fade off. No technology can take over that. Even today, the entire world is chasing AI. AI itself is struggling with emotions, right? So even we've been hearing all across 90-minute AI film, theatrical film, lot of films are getting announced, dramas are being made. Everything is getting stuck, that how do you communicate with the humans? Where are the emotions? Because you cannot prompt that. It is naturally coming to you. So the more you are emphasizing on the story at this moment to communicate, because of, yes, the shrinking space, because of, yes, the mediums have changed, because, yes, the people have adapted to the technologies, the clearer the message you are bringing in, that's 10, 15 second, 20 second, there is the power of that branding and the way you are communicating to the audience. This is why most of the reels get viral very easily. Micro dramas are getting super popular because your attention rates are very, very less at right now. On the go, you need the contents to fly. And now I'm working on the shows which are like 1 minute. You have to have a hook lines every 1 minute, then again a pickup line, then again a hook line. So the moment you start, it has to drop. So this is how we have to just tell the stories.
So, so everything is too cluttered today, you know, I mean, even if you open Netflix, you take half an hour to figure out, you know, what we want to really see. And you've been on the consulting and media planning side. Typically, there is a question that should you spend more on creativity or should you just pump up the distribution? Typical creativity versus scale. And I'm sure you give proposals and recommendation to brands. I know there is no right or wrong answer, but I would want to understand from you, between this tug of war on creativity versus scale, what would your general recommendation be to a brand?
So both of them go hand to hand. Basically, what we want to communicate must be clear, must be adaptable, and must be able to generate recall. See, basically advertising is about awareness, recall, and building affinity. So to reach the affinity, which is the desirable level, you have to create something. We have to create something which is appealing to the audiences. Okay, but all said and done, unless there is a good distribution, no amount of creation of interest or affinity build-up will help the brand. So it's like 100%. You have to balance both the things. If we want to be seen as a great brand, we must invest into our communication content. We must position our communication in a way that we want to be seen as, just to save some money, or just to be quirky, or just to be Me Too kind of thing. At times take a lot of toll on the brand's health in longer term. So creativity is always like, see, it's a catalyst. A good creative can make you a hero. A bad creative can make us a villain, look like a villain. And audiences, they understand within second. So obviously the creativity is very important, and distribution is like, our veins carrying the blood. So again, on the earlier occasion, I missed 2 points. I just wanted to see what is in television, what is the difficulty is the targeting. Okay, so a brand which is catering to the young students will go to the kids channel. The brand which is only to the male will go to the news channels or sports earlier. And the GEC will always be like the brands who wants to appeal to the housewife. In digital, this is very well, well done. Like, you have something called search and intent. So you can target by search and intent, where the digital scores over the television. Okay. So in that hybrid model is where that we can use it, that you want to reach out. One is the corporate bombing. You go to a larger audience and there will be spillage. Another is a very precise targeting where the digital scores. Coming back to the same, the creativity, I still feel that we are taking, the many brands I've seen, they're taking creativity in digital communication too lightly. And because of that, their positions, they're not able to build they're not able to create any kind of perception and position which is going to be carried forward for a long term. Like, look at the iconic brands that we used to watch, like when we were children, like Nirma, Lijjat Papad, Fevikwik, Fevicol, everything we all remember. Because they had a positioning which was well defined. They used to sweat it out to make the creatives that were aired on the television or broadcasted on the radio or printed. In digital domain, we are getting too casual. We feel that it's just like, it's just okay because it's a youth. But youth is also an audience. They are also well educated, they are matured, their thought process, I think they are also disciplined. So we must address this psyche of that in digital, we can put anything and it will work. See, viral, if something is getting viral, that is a different thing. It can be good, it can be bad. But where I personally feel that we must be conscious of that, what is the kind of communication that we are creating for the even digital media.
Absolutely. I've had so many agencies, at times they come to us where they're showing a production spend of almost nil versus, pumping all the monies towards distribution. And the answer is simple, ki dikhne wala to hai. And then, of course, comes the other player, which is my next question, is AI. So they are like, we are using these AI tools and it can happen at the best of rates. So since we are short on time, to each one of you, of course AI is there, we have to live with it. It is of course helping a lot of brands, a lot of people with anything and everything. My question is it helping performance or is it just making things faster and easier? And again, different lens, you use it for storytelling, and then of course you can share it from the brand and media perspective.
So again, AI in different industries, it's being used for different reasons. We are in a creative industry where one thing is the storytelling, the power of that. It also is now enabling the efficiency. What it used to take hours and hours earlier is now within a click of prompts and you are able to get that. It helps in doing the faster storyboards. It generates the quicker images, what the director is visioning, what you are thinking from a story perspective. Right there, the visual is there for you to reference. So it is one, efficiency game. Second, it is giving you more thought processes, that whatever you have thought, whether what earlier what used to happen was the script is one side and director is always having the visuals in his mind. To convert that into a paper was always a task. Now it's not there. So you have a power of rejection, approval within few clicks. And going back to the earlier question, whether the distribution or this thing, I think it's a chicken and egg story. If you have a right story, every distributor wants to buy that and everywhere it will travel. And again, if the distributor, what he wants is the right story, the right story has to travel to the distributor. So it's vice versa case, I guess. There's no, this is right or that is right or this is powerful, that is powerful. I don't think so that way. Everybody now wants to make Dhurandhar because it's like 1,000 crores. But again, 3 Dhurandhars, then you will change the format and you will look for something new. So that's how it's always it has been.
So Manoj, how do you look at AI?
Yeah, I see AI as a two important thing. It's enabler, number one. And second is give a multi-dimensional approach. Okay, as Rajeev said, it can increase a lot of efficiency. You cannot take AI blindly. I must tell you, you should not take AI blindly. You have to cross-check also. Because AI can help you to speed up the process, any process, creativity, data analytics, or budgeting, or performance marketing. It helps you to enable the things in a different dimension. You have to analyze this and give your perspective to it. Then it will a very, very good combo with AI with humans. It can be a wonder if you can use AI as an enabler and multi-dimensional. Because when you think in one direction, as Rajeev said, it gives you multi-dimensional approach. You are thinking in one direction, it gives you data fetch, and AI is not anything which works automatically. You have to pump and you have to poke it. The best you give the question, the best you get the reply. It is an art. Getting AI on the work is not an easy task. Is the quality of input will give the quality of output. If you have some knowledge, basic understanding, then only you can help the AI to give the desired output. It's very, very good enabler, and we should really use it to increase the efficiency, impact, and performance as well. This is my experience.
If I have to say, I think most of the panelists, they agree AI is it is increasing the productivity. In my case, in past, we use AI. And how it has helped, the way like Mr. Janardan said, India is a multicultural region. There are 90 different SCRs are there. And there was a print ad. Now, if you're just throwing a print ad in multiple publications, which we did, the registration was very, very low in one of the campaign. But through AI SIA, the moment we use AI SIA, and the campaign has increased the registration. The reason was that like AI SIA was enable the communication in the local language. At the same time, the AI SIA, herself, she was able to communicate to the core audience, like what is expected, audience has to do that. So it is completely up to us, like how you want to use AI. AI is no doubt at such like it increases the productivity and increases the performance.
So it's the same thing. They have said it all. It's the future. None of us will be able to. We can live without anything. Like there are so many people who have lived with the stick and they have never holded a gun. It's like So in our day-to-day lives, it's going to be there, whether we want to use it or we don't want to use it. Only thing is that as far as creativity is concerned, the human element, the human mind will always be supreme. Because I have been watching a lot of AI ads. I'll tell you, because see, when it's a human mind which has made the creative, you watch it more number of time, you feel more interested, you get more in love with that content. But AI-led content are actually irritating. I have been watching, there is one, I'll tell you, just to give an example, there is one, some kind of weight loss program, it's a Tai Chi walking. Now, once or twice I watched it, now you know that how it gets targeted and everything. And every time that ad is coming, it is too irritating because it's looking fake. We know that it's a fake creative, like there is no application of mind. See, when we correlation, understanding the human psychology, dissecting the human mindset, is all very human. A machine cannot do it. So as a efficiency enabler, as a efficiency enhancer is a great thing, like computers, like I said, in everything, the technology is a new way of technology. It's not going to replace humans. We are going to use AI. AI is not going to use us. Okay. So that is where I am. So in we have to be just conscious of not be like I'm. So many of our industry colleagues are in panic nowadays because there are reports coming in that AI will replace the agencies. See, if AI will replace the agency, we will do something better because this is anyway the machine has taken over our job. Like we no more write, like we don't do like we type, and now we dictate and the typing is done. So likewise, we always upgrade, and it's a human who are creating the technology to help ourselves. So as a human, we are supreme. So AI is something which is in our control, and we must see it and keep it like that only.
I think that's the reason it's white artist intelligence instead of Apple.
Absolutely, I think that's it. Time's here. So thank you to the lovely panel. Of course, we are short on time. If any one of you has any questions, they all are here. You can catch up with them after the session. Thank you again, and thank you for being such a great audience.
Thank you so much. I request all of you to wait. We would have loved it if this conversation went on and on, but दिन में 24 घंटे होते मैं क्या करूँ? Time limitation है. I'm going to be requesting Mr. Gaurav Laghate, Head of Corporate Brand, Corporate Communications and PR, to please kindly come up on stage and give the token of appreciation to our esteemed speakers. A big round of applause for Mr. Laghate as well, please, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you. Most incredible audience indeed.